do you think we see altcoin season this year? Or
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, so for anybody who is newer this cycle, like historically what we see is Bitcoin and the majors pump, and then like more liquidity comes into the system and that kind of flows into these different altcoins. We're not really seeing that right now. So I think a lot of people are, upset. And so like, why is that happening? So honestly, I think one huge thing is noise. There are so many of these different altcoins at this point in time. That's actually really hard to know, like what is legit, what is not legit. And just, even the ones that are legit, there's so many of them. So it's hard to kind of like get them to stand out and like get more attention at this point in time. On top of that, I think we're seeing a lot of liquidity flow into the ecosystem through not directly like centralized exchanges or like decentralized exchanges anymore. ETFs are pulling a lot of liquidity into Bitcoin, but it's not like that liquidity can easily go into altcoins next when people make money. And so structurally, we're seeing the market change a decent amount here. And I think that that's having impacts on the altcoin market. So obviously the whole altcoin market just got like smacked hard. And honestly, how I think about my investing, like especially for like longer tail altcoins, is don't like at this point, it's going to be really hard to make money on just like the narrative. Like people are going to be thinking about these things more critically. The space is still very untethered from like fundamentals, like how much revenue is a chain making. But like honestly, like think critically about what these different projects are doing and think like, okay, does the business model make sense? Like, is this thing actually going to make money? And two, like, is it making money? That's how we're thinking about things at Omni is like, if you don't have a clear business model at this point in time and you're an altcoin, like, that's a scary spot to be in. Like for example, for Omni, like the thesis here is that the on-chain economy is maturing substantially, but people are held back from using it because it's too complex to move across all these chains and stuff. And so the way Omni makes money is anytime value flows through the network, it can take a fee on that. And so what we care about, our North Star from a metric perspective, is just like how much order flow is like being processed through the network. And like that's directly tied to how much money that the network is making. So like pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's not like I have to explain zero knowledge proofs to you or something in order to explain that. And that's, I think, how people should think about it. It's like, can this sound reasonable without talking about like buzzword salad in order for me to kind of like feel like I kind of know what's going on? Yeah, I think some of these altcoins are going to go to zero. And I think it's the like teams that got into this because they were short-term oriented and wanted to like tell a narrative, but didn't really build anything that like can make money and like can provide value. So yeah, we'll see. It's going to be pretty ruthless in the altcoin market over the next like 6 to 9 months here. Yeah, I think the trade war is one of the biggest things that like will determine like whether the altcoin market picks up or not in the short term here.